Heard around the world by everybody and their mama. The Jesse Lee Peterson Radio Show.
Let me just ask Adam this one question. Well, not one, but affirmative action based on color. As a black person, I see that as being embarrassing to black people. It's a put down in that it tells black people that they can't make it because they're black, and that they need affirmative action to let them in based on color. It's a put down to black Americans. Does that bother you as a Jewish guy?
No, I think the reality is the exact opposite of what you're describing. I think, and I understand this is your personal feeling, but I do think affirmative action as a program, that it actually acknowledges the discrimination that exists in our society and actually should make everyone feel like, you know what, we're actually going to get a fair shake for the first time in a very long time in this country, actually the first time ever in this country, that affirmative action helps to offset some of the bias and prejudice. I don't think it's not an indictment of anyone's ability to achieve. In fact, it recognizes that even though you go to a bad school, you could achieve, you can be the best, you can contribute to society. We just need to give people an opportunity.
If 73% of black children were not born out of wedlock, they have fathers and mothers, as they did prior to the civil rights movement and this whole mess started, if they have fathers and mothers raising them and protecting them and taking care of them, would they need affirmative action?
I think probably yes, but I think the reality is
why
that
yes?
The family has been broken down, in part because over the last 50 years, different governmental policies and the breakdown of the economy, the breakdown of, if you look back into the 50s and 60s, industrial jobs and the ability to have a solid middle-class life was abundant. You could, and especially here in Los Angeles, even for the black community in Los Angeles, there was a period of growth and upward mobility. And for the last 40 years or so, that has disappeared. And that has... And
so you're saying, like, yes, that even if the black community...
I think racism would still exist, yes. I do think
No,
racism
I didn't ask you about racism.
Well, that's what affirmative action offsets, is racism.
But so you're saying that even if the black families were intact,
yes,
black people would still need affirmative action?
Yes, because racism would still exist.
So
yes.
Why is it that the Jewish people don't need it, and they went through the Holocaust?
Because we're white, and we don't face that same kind of racism and discrimination in this country. And there was a time where in this country where Jews did face a lot of that kind of discrimination. But the racism that black people and Latino people and other minorities face in this country doesn't exist for Jewish people anymore.
Why it doesn't exist for Jewish people now?
Because I do think because we're white. And a majority were white, overwhelming majority were white, and we, and have been given opportunities at a higher rate than our black and brown brothers and sisters.
So that's what happened with you? They gave you opportunities because you were white?
I think my parents' generation definitely had a lot more opportunities in the 30s and 40s and 50s than their black and Latino counterparts in this country. Yeah, for sure. I'm sure my grandparents obviously faced a lot of discrimination and were ghettoized in the early Jewish neighborhoods in New York City, which is where I'm originally from. But that type of ghettoization of the Jewish community doesn't exist today.
So do the Jewish people, do they discriminate against blacks too?
Oh, I'm sure that, yeah. That does happen, yes.
Yeah,
but I do think, obviously,
so do you discriminate against blacks?
Do I discriminate against blacks? I would say, as an individual, no, I do not. As a white person being raised in America, do I still have elements of racism and bias and prejudice, in me? We all do.
You have that toward black people?
I think I'd be kind of naive and lying to think that all remnants of prejudice and bias have against everybody, not just black people, but against everyone, to say that has been completely eradicated from me as an individual.
So as a Jewish guy working with blacks and liberals and others to, quote unquote, help black people, you are personally racist against blacks?
No, I'm not personally racist. That's not what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is that all of us, no matter what we do, no matter who we are, we're raised in the United States, which the United States is a wholly fundamentally from its founding, racism's been part of our country. And so to say
So
that,
you
to
are
say
a
that
racist?
No, I'm not. I'm an anti-racist. I'm an active anti-racist.
But you say you have something in you against black people.
Yeah, we all do.
What do you have against black people?
Nothing that I could ever put my finger on. But again, I think
Well, how do you
I think
know
I'm
you
being
have
pretty.
something
I think
then?
I'm being pretty honest with my answer here.
How do you
And
know you have it then if you can't put your finger on it?
Because I think it exists in all of us. I think it's what growing up in America is. It's we are raised with
All
these
of
things.
us, meaning all the white people, Jewish people, or black people?
I think all people have prejudice. I think the key is, are we fighting against it? Are we trying to uproot it? Are we trying to change it? Do I think black people can be racist? No. I think
You don't
racism.
think black people can be
not
racist?
Can they be prejudiced and biased? Yes.
So
but
all
racism,
other races can be racist
No.
except black people?
No. Racism is about power. And you need to have power in the society in order to be racist, because racism means you are actually.
One last thing then about that. Is Obama and Oprah and Bill Cosby, are those people racist? They have power.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of.
But they have power. You say
And
you have to
can
have
they-
power. Are they racist?
No, because honestly, the black community in America, even if the
But you just said if you
the
can't be-
president is black, that doesn't mean that we don't have racism in our country.
So why?
And that doesn't mean that there can't be racism against black people.
You said that you can't be a racist if you don't have power,
Right.
and
Yeah,
black
yeah.
people don't have power. I named you a
No,
few
and
black
even-
people with power,
that is not-
and you said
But
they
that's not
can't.
social
They're not
power,
racist.
Jesse. Jesse, the president. You think the president actually makes most of the decisions? Who funds his campaign? Who got him elected? I mean, yes, he's a black president. He's the first black president.
wanna ask
and
this.
Oprah is a very wealthy individual. But to say that they have the same kind of social power that the ruling white class of America has, that's just
Okay,
not
so
true.
give me yes or just a quick yes or no.
Yeah.
Obama, Oprah,
Yeah,
Bill
yeah.
Cosby,
Yeah.
and all those black folks with money
Yeah.
and power are not racist. They can't be racist.
No, I don't think they're racist. I think, can they be prejudiced and biased? Yes.
But they can't be racist, right?
They can't impose
Give me
a
a yes or
policy
no.
of discrimination.
No, give me a yes or no.
No, they can't be racist.
So, but in order to be a racist, you got to have power.
You have to have real power.
And
You have to
Obama doesn't have real power.
No. I mean, I'm sorry, but the truth is, and I think if you ask the majority of people, has he actually done something for the betterment of
Does Eric
of black
Holder, the
Americans? That's
Attorney
not
General,
true.
does Eric Holder, the Attorney General, have real power?
I think insofar as he goes along with what the establishment wants, then yes. But if he steps out of line, he gets reined back in. You can see it
So
with the
is that a
president.
no or
You can
yes?
see it with the president right now with immigration. He's been talking for years about how he's going to, really fight for immigration
Do me a-
reform,
do me a
and
quick
he's been
favor.
completely restricted. He
Because
has
of
no
time.
power. He has no power to put forward what he really wants to.
Because of
Or-
time, you're saying that Eric Holder, the Attorney General, does not have power.
I think in general, yes.
He
In
does
America,
have
he
power.
does not. No.
So does he have power or he doesn't?
No.
He does not have power.
That is correct.
The Attorney General of the United States of America does not have power.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes or no
Do
first?
you think?
Yes or no because of time?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
All right. When we come back, I want you to tell us a story about
About Ezel?
Ezel.
Okay.
And then we're going to take some calls.
I got you.
888-775-3773. Back in a moment.